What is good, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Paul and I make videos about life in Japan and videos about sneakers. Today I'm going to be giving you my top 5 reasons why it's great to be a sneakerhead. We've all seen the comments. Dude, they're just shoes. Bro, why would you pay $500, $800, $1,000 on something that's just leather and cloth for your feet? Alright, I'm going to address that economic thing first and say, to begin, there are 2 types of expensive shoes. There are the designer sneakers like Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, etc. They retail for a ton of money, and if you like those sneakers and you have the money to purchase them, you do you. The other type of expensive sneakers are the ones that retail for $100 up to $250 normally. We're talking about Nike, Jordan Brand, Yeezy, and Adidas, etc., New Balance. But those shoes have a lot higher price on the resale market because they are rare and people want them. And that's just economics 101, supply and demand. When something is desired but hard to get, the prices will go up. And the thing is, when you are buying an expensive pair of shoes like those, the Jordan brand, the Nike brand, etc., you are actually kind of making a commodity investment. Like when you buy gold or something. Because when you buy those shoes, they don't suddenly lose their value like when you drive a car off a lot, etc. A lot of times you can even wear those shoes and down the line still make some money, or at least get your money back, or maybe lose a little bit of money when you resell them. As opposed to when you just go to a shoe store, buy a $30 pair of sneakers, wear them into the ground and throw them away. If you're like me, I kind of curate my sneaker collection. I actually get a lot of shoes in that I don't keep. I just want to see what they look like in hand, see if it's something I really want to have. And very often it's something that I'm like, I have other things I'd rather have in my collection, so I sell them on and basically get my money back right away. Sometimes more. I bought a pair of the Jordan 4 military blacks. I hit on them for retail. I wore them a couple of times, but the size just wasn't right. They weren't comfortable. I sold them maybe 2 months after their release, and I made $100 on a pair of shoes that I'd worn. Made $100. My favorite example of this is when I got a pair of the Vapor Street Nike running shoes, which was a collaboration with Off-White. I paid about 14,000 yen, which is, for practical purposes, $140. I ran almost 300 miles in these, 473 kilometers, as my running tracking app told me. I sold them on auction for 9,000 yen or $90. So it was basically the equivalent of a $50 pair of running shoes that I definitely got my money's worth out of. So I got to run in this pretty cool looking pair of shoes. I got a lot of looks while I had them on feet. And then I sold them on and made a good portion of my money back. You can't do that with ordinary footwear. And that leads me into point number 2. You're never going to have ordinary footwear as a sneakerhead. You're always going to be stepping out morning after morning wearing something that you're excited to have on feet, that you're excited to have, that you are happy to be wearing. And let's be honest, like we could all use a kind of pick-me-up in the morning or pick-me-up all day. Anything that can make us happier through our daily life. What's wrong with that? I think that's a very good thing. If you just buy shoes and you don't think about them and you put them on your feet and you go about your day, there's nothing wrong with that, but each little thing that you have in your life that makes you feel happier about yourself and what you're doing, that boost of confidence is a real thing. Even so much so that studies have shown that when people dress a certain way, they feel a certain way. Their confidence goes up. They feel like they're ready to take on the world in a way that they might not otherwise feel like they're able to. And frankly, that's a great reason to be a sneakerhead. That actually leads to the third point, which is we are a community. If you know, you know. When you see other sneakerheads out in the wild and you see their shoes, they see your shoes, you get that sneakerhead nod, or you actually fall into a conversation, talk a little bit, hey, nice shoes, where'd you get those? Did you hit for retail? That kind of thing. You are a part of a community that recognizes each other. And that community feeling is really a cool thing. I actually have a handful of acquaintances and friends that I've made because I was wearing a particular pair of shoes and we got into this conversation. I don't know, I just have this memory of when I went off to college for the first time and I noticed that all of the smokers became friends almost immediately because they all went off to the side, they lit up their cigarettes, they got to talking, shared cigarettes around, etc. And they became friends very fast because they already had that connecting thing in their social life, which was smoking. Getting into sneakers, I've had that same experience. You meet and talk to people just by virtue of having this particular hobby. There's one guy I met pretty recently who he's not a huge sneakerhead, but he's a skater, and he just noticed that I laced my dunks in the way that skateboarders do, and we fell into a conversation, and we've become friends. And part of that is because of our sneaker history and our love of sneakers and skateboarding. And that is the fourth thing that I'm getting into why it's great to be a sneakerhead, is because it goes beyond sneakers. Sneakers tie into so many other parts of the culture, like skateboarding, like other sports such as tennis and basketball. It's part of music culture and music history, as well as, of course, fashion and other parts of the culture. So when you are into sneakers and you tap into the sneakerhead culture, you are actually being a part of so much more other parts of the culture. I've learned way more about skateboarding, basketball, fashion, etc. than I ever would have if I wasn't into sneakers. And of course, if you're not interested in any of those things, then who cares? But if you are, or if you don't know that you might or might not be, that might be something that would be a new world-opening experience, getting into sneakers and learning about the history and the culture that they tie into. And finally, the fifth reason why I love sneakers and why I think it's great to be a sneakerhead is another one of those pick-me-ups in the daily life. The anticipation of sneakers that are coming out. When you look at the calendar and realize, oh, I really want to get my hands on that pair of sneakers. You enter the raffles, you throw your hat into the ring on the sneakers app. And yes, a lot of times you take the L and you don't get the sneakers, but you have that anticipation and sometimes you hit. And I would argue that whether you hit or not, the anticipation makes daily life a lot more enjoyable when you're looking forward to something like that. When you have something to look forward to like that. And when you win, elation. And when you lose, it actually isn't that bad because you often end up commiserating with your sneakerhead friends. Oh, did you hit? Nah, I didn't hit. Ah, me neither. Yeah, okay, well, next time, maybe we'll both hit on the next one coming out. And so, again, that sense of community, sense of looking forward to something, never having boring sneakers on feet, having something that really retains its value and can actually go up in value over time, etc., etc. These are the reasons why it's great to be a sneakerhead. Let me know what you think. You have any other reasons you want to add in the comments below, or if you have anything to quibble with my reasons at all, please join the conversation. Thank you so very much for watching this particular video. I actually have 2 sneakers reviews coming out soon. I'm going to be reviewing the Tokyo 96 lows and a pair of SB dunks. Okay, thanks for watching this video. I will catch you next time. Peace.